I think it's lovely that you're calling me mummy again, almost as lovely as seeing you wearing such pretty clothes, his mother replied. Have you many other dresses here? They're in the wardrobe. David frowned. May I see? She asked. Valerie opened the double wardrobe and her eyes melted into the colorful range of clothes, below which is some 20 pairs of girly shoes all neatly arranged. On one side of the wardrobe is a series of shelves, some with folded bundles clothing. What are these? She quizzed, noticing what appeared to be baby clothes hanging from rails on two of the lower shelves. They are for the dolls. David timidly told his mother as she removed one of the miniature frocks and admired it. How lovely. I feel silly when I have to play with them, the boy sulked. Girls my age don't play with dolls anymore. It's different for boys though, especially petticoated boys, his mother replied as she put the little doll dress back. Sometimes you have to take 2 steps back before you can take 1 step forward, his mother said. That's what Nanny says, but I don't really know what she means. When you were younger you were too busy playing rough and tumble with the boys, his mother said. And too many boys' games revolve around being aggressive. They teach you to fight and take reckless risks, she told him. Learning nice games like girls play teach you to be cautious and considerate, she explained. You missed out on playing with dolls when you were young, which is why you have to learn to play with them now, and it's not just dolls. I'm sure you've learned other new games too. I've learned to play hopscotch and skipping. David confessed. And I can do cartwheels too, he added. And Nanny's been teaching me some clapping games as well. That's nice, his mother smiled. I wonder if I can still do cartwheels, she mused. The sound of footsteps from the landing drew both their attention. Their eyes turned toward the open bedroom door. Isabel, the housekeeper, appeared. Afternoon tea will be served in a few minutes, she said. Go and wash your hands, David. Yes, Nanny. David replied, before scurrying out. David tells me you've been teaching him some clapping games. Valerie said to Isabel. I've been teaching him all sorts of new things. Isabel replied as she straightened one of the dolls on the shelf. The very same doll that Valerie had removed. He's certainly more adaptable than Michael was. It was months before he was allowed to return home. David's a good boy. Always has been. Valerie replied as she cast her eyes around the girly bedroom. I can't help but wonder if all this is really necessary, she said. Oh, it's necessary, Isabel said. The world would be a much better place if more boys were petticoated, she claimed. Valerie followed the housekeeper downstairs to the dining room. Aunt Martha sat at the head of the table, which was laid with her best china tea set, a plate full of freshly baked scones along with some jam and whipped cream. This looks very nice, she said. Her aunt gestured to the seat beside her. Valerie Saturday. David's been showing me all the dolls and dresses in his room, she said. Her aunt smiled, briefly. He also tells me he's learned to play hopscotch and skipping, and Isabel's been teaching him some clapping games, she added. Make sure he continues when he returns home. Martha sternly instructed. Of course, Auntie. Valerie replied. She felt like she was a girl again, in the presence of a strict headmistress. I think he's coming to terms with being petticoated. The question is, Valerie, are you? I think so, Auntie. Valerie replied. He looks lovely in a dress and I can't wait to see him wearing all the clothes you. His clothes are superficial, Valerie. Martha said, cutting her short. A mere distraction, she stated. He's not a doll for you to play with. No, Auntie. Valerie gulped, feeling every bit the naughty schoolgirl now.